What's up, YouTube? Jesse here with Just Man Sports Cards. Thank you for joining me. Definitely appreciate it. Today we're going to go over how I'm looking at collecting and investing in sports cards. Definitely not investment advice. I haven't been a serious collector again for that long, 2 to 3 years now. I'm going to try to take a very analytical approach at it. We're going to use Cardladder data, total market cap, and then look at some NBA rankings. And I put it all on a Google spreadsheet so that everyone can follow along. And then I'll walk you through how I built the spreadsheet. And then definitely leave below if you agree with me, disagree with me, if I should add something or something that I've missed. I'm definitely open to tweaking it. With that being said, we'll flip the camera around and I'll walk you through how I did everything.
Here we go. On the Cardladder Pro website, this is my landing page on the website. They also have an app, dashboard, several different functions, but what we're going to look at today is the indices tab. Go here, they've sorted by different indices, but what we want to look at is the players. And then thank you, Josh, for adding this button here, total market cap. And then what I want to do is sort it by total market cap. Maybe another thing that would be helpful is if you could sort this also by the essentially what index it is in. Like, this would have been really helpful if I could have done basketball too. So total market cap plus basketball and sort it. But what I did is I just scrolled down and then who had the biggest, which is Michael Jordan, I put it in over here. And then I put the total number of cards because I think that's important because that reflects how many cards are being tracked and are figured into this total market cap. And then you can click on these and see this is basically how the indice is done. Has grown over 2 years or all time. But kind of this is like a reflection of percent change on how the total market cap is doing for this player. And then you should be able to go to see all the cards that are tracked in this. So it'll show you the card and then the value and then yeah. So let's go back. Oh. So then I just went down and I plugged them in over here as I went down the cards, and I kept going and going and going and just entering the basketball ones. And that's how I came up with this list. And then I guess I didn't have to make it that big. Then what I also did, I entered the rookie year because I think how long the market has been established on the player should affect the total market cap. If that makes sense. Like if a stock has been basically a good term or phrase that they use is like you want your stock to double like every year, or an investment to double about every 8 years is a good investment. So the fact that LeBron's total market cap is close to Jordan's and his market is actually about 20 years younger, you can make different arguments there. Is LeBron overpriced? Is Jordan underpriced? Does LeBron have better cards? There's a lot of different arguments to make there. And then what I also did is I went to the ESPN Top 75. The thing to remember here is players' accomplishments in the NBL, ABA, and college or international are not considered. It's like Dominique Wilkins played overseas, had a pretty good career over there. If that was included in this, he would maybe rank higher. Pete Maravich had a crazy college career. If that was considered, maybe he would rank higher. Julius Erving had a fantastic ABA career. If that was included, maybe he would be higher. And then this is voted on by people and supposedly like established credentialed people, but it's still opinions. So then you just go down, and I just start plugging this into here in their ranking. And then what I did is I took their, how did I do this? Their ranking, and then of where they're ranked all time on kind of the GOAT list and where they're currently at market cap wise. And then I came up with a ratio. So I wish there was a better way to center this. I might just have to do it like this. And you just go down. Steph doesn't have many cards. He doesn't have any rookie cards. Maybe there should be more in the system. Who knows? People like Wilt Chamberlain, there's just not many cards out there. So it's tough to look at there. And then what I also did is anyone that hasn't been in the league for 5 years, I put a red symbol on it. Then anyone that hasn't been in the league for 10 years, I put a yellow. And to me, those are kind of your there's more risk, I guess. They're not as established. Giannis has a MVP. He's got a ring. So could he move higher than 18? Yeah. And then on some of these, I had to assume. I just put 76. Could Luka make it to above the top 75? Most definitely. But you have to be a little realistic. He has 3 All-Star appearances. Paul Pierce has 10, and he's 62 all-time. And Pierce has a championship. People could say that KJ helped him win it, but whatever. So this is how I came up with it. We can go through them real quick. Jordan, Steph, Kobe, Will, and you basically see it. And these are just the market caps. And some of the crazy stuff is just when you really look at it is like Ja Morant's total market cap is 3 times what Shaquille is. Does that make any sense at all? Zion's. Tatum's is double what Shaquille's is. That's just crazy to me. Anthony Edwards, I mean, he hasn't really done anything. Yeah. So then it's like, okay, so how do you make sense of all this, or look at it in a different fashion? And the ratio, I think, is helpful. Agree or disagree with me down below on this. I'm using Google Docs because it's free. So Larry Bird is ranked 7th overall in the top 75, 27th in total market cap at 5 million. Only 46 cards. So maybe if there was more cards, and maybe there should be, because I think if you look at Magic Johnson, yeah, he has 75. So should this be equal? Probably. They were saying rookie year, Magic's a bigger time player. And then, but the thing in the hobby to remember too is like, how collectible are they? Larry Bird was pretty quiet TV personality wise. He's got a pretty interesting story. I believe his father killed himself. Rough childhood, or just life overall. So I think if you dig into it, there's a story that people could relate to. And I mean, I have a lot harder time. He's a white dude with a mullet. Could shoot the rock. It's cool. But the ratio, this is what, and I left LeBron and Michael. I think they had that right. So this is kind of like you're above and below. So everyone basically that has a smaller ratio than this, they could be considered undervalued. So Larry Bird might be the most undervalued. Kareem is highly up there too, even though he has a large market cap, but he's ranked so high. Is what really affects this ratio. Tim Duncan is someone I've been looking at. Akeem gets thrown around there. Magic, I pick up a little of his stuff here and there. Shaquille, I pick up a decent amount of his stuff. Ray Allen is one of my largest collections. Dirk, I like collecting him as well. Kevin Garnett, I like collecting him. Pierce, I have a large collection of his. Julius Erving, I have 2 of his rookies. I don't have any West. I don't have any Barkley. My largest value or dollars that I have in any cards is Michael Jordan. LeBron, I don't think I own anything. Kevin Durant's been pretty polarizing here lately. I do have some of his rookie cards. Allen Iverson, this is kind of interesting to see for me. He's further down the list, but he's considered overvalued if you're using this ratio. So that's just something to watch for me and to think about. Tyler Hero, who was essentially a bench warmer and has a starting job now. Same with Jordan Poole. I live in the Bay Area. Jordan Poole is hot out here. You walk around to the card shows and people are basically asking for Steph Curry, Jordan Poole around basketball season. Pete Maravich, this is kind of interesting, being overvalued off of this. But he's just so far down here. I think part of this is people do take in that he had a short career, and because he died of heart problems at a pretty young age, but he had such an epic college career. Kobe, there's probably a decent amount of people. This is probably maybe the most polarizing one of people agreeing and disagreeing. A lot of people still feel like Kobe's overvalued, and then some people believe that he should be up there. Curry, he's just so high on the market cap, number 3, and then all time. I think he's going to move up to all time, so I could see this ratio coming down, especially after this ring he just won. And then Wilt's kind of interesting, and then Luka would be essentially to this ratio would be the highest risk investment. I guess that's maybe a way to look at it. This is your risk ratio, maybe, or undervalued, overvalued ratio. Yeah. So I've had some comments like, hey, can you please compare some of these 90 cats against these modern players? You can. This is the way my brain did it. Agree, disagree. I'm cool with that. I appreciate the conversation. That's what I'm mainly looking for. So that's if you did it the highest. I guess I have to. It's gonna maybe be a little funny over here because it's the rank. Yeah, there we go. And then it'll put this at the bottom. I probably have to freeze that frame to make it work right. This is important to keep in total cards. So I don't know if there's a way that Cardladder could do like a leveling effect here with the total numbers of cards. Some of them had. I've reached out to Chris before, and he added a bunch of Jabbar cards because he's number 3 all time. And I just thought he should add more cards. So most of his cards are in there. There's some like flawless cards that have some cool patches that go for over $1,000. I saw what was it, 2012 Prism PSA 10 just did over $1,000. So there's some other cards in there that are kind of biggish. But yeah. Do you want to see more of this, guys, gals? There's not really anyone gals that watch my show, but or what am I missing? Or who else would you like to see on this? Anyways, it's about 9 o'clock here at night. It rained here in California, which we definitely need it. So big plus for today in California as a win. Hope everyone's well. Do me a favor, smash that like button, comment down below tell a friend about the channel. Definitely appreciate spreading the word, and have a great night.